What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 57 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Today is Thursday, December 6th, 2018. I'm your host, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescatore. How are you doing, friends?
Hey. Hi there.
Hey.
Melissa, how are you feeling?
Yo, Melissa is hella sick. So I was sick like 2 episodes ago, and I kind of got over it last episode, and now I feel fine. And now Melissa is fucked.
Yeah, he fucking played me hardcore.
Yo, she's...
My lip is on fire. My nose
so
is on
bad.
fire.
Yo, she's been so sick. I feel so bad. She's had it.
He barely was sick, and I'm being
I just
annihilated.
Cope,
I am sick of you guys being sick.
This is the first time I've been sick in like in a while.
Yeah, there was 2 days straight, like a full 48 hours where I was pumping myself with every 3 hours with fucking Dayquil, and it got me through. I was able to function. I still worked 12 hours a day and then did my shit, so I wasn't complaining. Anyway,
you guys are insane.
Hey, that's how we roll. No, she's getting over it. She'll be fine. She'll be fine, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I just sound like
didn't you just take a NyQuil?
Right
you
All
just
right,
take
well,
a
let's
NyQuil?
hope.
I did.
So she'll be asleep by the end of the podcast, guys.
No, I'll
Sorry.
be good. I'll be
Sorry
tripping.
in advance.
One of the two.
She's robo-tripping. Little housekeeping really quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Check ours out over at patreon.com/gottawatchemall, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons, Brittany, Jay, Jessica, Keith, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L. And I want to give a huge shout out to our newest patron at the Discord tier, Clash and Cliff. What's going on, Cliff?
Ooh.
Thank you so much.
Hi,
and he's been
friend.
super active in the Discord. And he actually told us he met us walking on the street at GoFest. And since then, he's been listening to the show and just became a supporter in Discord.
That's
so
awesome.
It's so awesome.
So
like
rad.
I know, totally cool. And
welcome to the family.
Thank you.
And Terry Wolf, listen to this. So Terry Wolf just hit 100 million XP, which is fucking awesome. So real quick.
Wow.
clap it
Yeah,
up for
let's give him a
fucking
little
Terry
round of
Wolf.
applause. Way to go,
Yeah,
dude.
level 40 times 5. So Cliff discreetly mentions in the Discord, he's like, he hit level 40 times 5, 100 million XP back in April.
Ooh.
So Cliff is fucking hardcore. So shout out to Cliff, man, for really holding it down for the heavy duty trainers. Him and Terry, man, and Jersey J. These guys are like, they're elite.
Yeah, you
so
guys are fucking insane.
It's cool to have you guys in our community.
I'm almost level 37. Yeah, so fuck all y'all.
I was telling my girlfriend about them, and I was like, yeah, they go pretty hard. I was like, yeah, they wake up at, the crack of dawn and go out there and raid before everybody's even awake. And she's like, wait, people go harder than you? And I was like, yes,
Oh
yes,
my
they
God.
do. Very, very much so.
No, I just hit level 40 times 2. It like snuck up on me. I was pretty excited about that. And that's like with very little raiding. And I was looking at my raid badges, and I've only done 240 legendary raids and 180 regular raids or something like that. So I haven't done much raiding compared to like a lot of these heavy duty grinders, and that's where a lot of that XP comes from. But the friend system now, forget about it. If you work this right and you really rock that best friend with a lucky egg thing, man, you can seriously freaking crush it with XP.
Yeah, just open a bunch of gifts all in one day.
Yeah, every
Best
time
friend,
I've
best
done a
friend,
best friend, I'm
best friend.
telling you, I would like catch for a fucking week to do a 30-minute, mass evolution party with a lucky egg to earn like 60, 70,000 XP. And, now it's pop a lucky egg and make a best friend and turn the game off like you're good. All right, 200K and instantly. So awesome. But yeah, if you can line up a couple of those suckers, hell yeah, it's so good. But anyway, let's break down what we're going to talk about on today's show. It's been a really big week. We kind of held off on recording. We wanted to try to squeeze as much information out, and hopefully we were waiting to see if PvP was going to go live. But that's the big
I was
topic
hoping
of
it was
today's show.
going to go live. I wanted to battle you.
So, full disclosure, we actually recorded last Sunday night, and fucking the file was corrupted. So we were like, all right, we have to re-record. Let's hold off. Let's wait till Thursday and see if, by then PvP is live, which it's not, but it's literally going to be coming any day. I can fucking feel it. It's like we're going to hit stop on the recording, and then John Henke's going to fucking put a tweet out. It's live. PvP, the hype is real. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about everything that we know up to this point. It's been covered at nauseum on YouTube and Twitter and all this shit. So we'll kind of take a little bit of a different approach and talk about how this is going to have an effect on the overall meta of the game. This is going to be really add a really new dynamic way to engage with the game. I'm really excited about it. December Community Day was last weekend. We'll talk about that. It was the whole weekend event for the anniversary. Field research, raid boss rotation, all coming with the December stuff. We'll break into that. Tottori Prefecture Event, that's going on right now in Japan. This was the mega fucking huge event that took place last year in Japan that I think brought like 1 million trainers or something absolutely insane. Like you think of GoFest and it's like, all right, 20, 30, 40,000. Was this the event that they weren't prepared for? No, this one went off without a hitch last year. This was at the Sand Dunes. It was like a giant tourism event like that Niantic partnered with the actual tourism, of Japan. Like it was a big deal. It was like a really big freaking deal. And it was like a week-long event. But we're going to end up with Shiny Sandshrew out of the deal. So we'll talk about that. Niantic also, again, we were just talking about Niantic partnering with tourism companies. They have a new initiative where they've partnered with the National Park Foundation, and it's this Rivers and Trails thing that we'll talk about of how you can get involved and, do something to engage with Niantic outside of just playing their games. All right. Fucking trainer battles. PvP is here. This is like everything that we've been waiting for since the game launched. I mean, I've wanted PvP since the beginning, more so than trading, more so than raiding even. Like PvP for me is exactly how I want to interact with my Pokemon experiences. So I'm really excited about this. Niantic started leaving some breadcrumbs. They were putting out these like really vague tweets that actually were very underproduced in my opinion. Like it didn't like really look that great, the images that they were showing. They started teasing PvP and they pretty much came out and said it, hey, we're making this announcement. It's coming later this month, trainer battles. And they started a deluge of information that they've been sharing with us over the past couple days. Now I was hoping it was going to go live. It hasn't. But this is what we know up to this point. And I'll break down the basics really quick just so we can get through it because it's been covered a lot. So you have the 3 separate leagues, Great, Ultra, Master, 1,500, 2,500, and no CP limit. So you have these 3 different leagues that you can put your Pokemon in, and this is going to create its own meta, where now Pokemon that were in lower classes of CP that had absolutely no relevance in the gym battle meta or the raid battle meta are now going to become relevant again. So right out of the gate, tons and tons of Pokemon are now going to be able to be utilized in this game other than just taking up storage and being a dex entry. That's fucking awesome. Right off the bat, that's like the coolest thing because now you're going to have a reason to use these oddball weird Pokemon. Or if you have 100%, Clefairy or something like that and you want to use it, like it will have
100% Love Disc. It has like 845 CP. It's perfect for the Great League.
But like, let's say you even narrow it down more and say, hey, let's do 1,000 and under battle. Because you can get creative with this. You can make your own rules. The Sylph Road already put together this thing. The Sylph League, they're going to be bringing a whole online battle network of tournaments and, all this shit through the Sylph Road. I'm so excited. So I'll give you a little backstory behind the curtain of what I used to do in the gaming space. So I've been involved with video games for a long freaking time. And back in the day, I'm talking like Xbox One, the original number one Xbox, the original big black machine. So when that thing was out and Xbox Live first launched, I worked for a website called teamcompete.com. This was a website that before Xbox Live really had its own clan system or party system or any of this stuff, we provided a platform for people to create clans and battle each other, and there was big rankings. We did big tournaments. Team Compete went on to sell their software, their proprietary software, to Game Battles. And Game Battles is what powers MLG, their online tournaments. So like that's the structure of how you took like a third-party site that would manage tournaments and rankings and all that and apply it to a game that's already existing in an esports realm. So now Sylph Road is coming up with their whole thing where they're going to have their own league. And if you're part of the Sylph League right now and registered as a, community leader, like to do a community day thing, you can now host tournaments in your region, and all this stuff is coming soon. It's going to be a freaking game changer.
That's really awesome.
Well, because then you could put conditions on your tournaments. You're not just going to say, all right, it's the Great League, 1,500 CP. You could say it's a Great
legendaries.
League. You could no legendaries, or you could only use babies.
Yeah, fairies only.
Exactly. So you could have these super creative, super niche battles where really getting these Pokemon that had no place in any current meta right now a chance to shine. Like fucking Metapod battle? Hell yeah, maximum hardness.
Oh my god, that would take forever.
That's what I'm talking about. Maximum freaking hardness. Those are the 3 leagues. We know that you can also battle your team leader as an NPC battle, so you could do almost like a single player battle every day where you play against a computer to earn rewards. You can earn rewards from playing other Pokemon trainers up to 3 times a day. You can have as many battles as you want, but three of those battles you're going to get rewards, and you get a reward whether you win or lose. So that's cool. Hopefully they'll be paying out in Stardust. I think that would be a good currency for a reward there. We talked about pre-made teams of 3. You're going to have a battle party system just like what we do now for raids and the gyms and the such. And what I like about this is now we're going to be able to start talking about battle parties here from the PvP meta, not just the raid battle meta, which is nice. Andrew Goldfarb, news editor at IGN, Pokemon Go ambassador #1, went to Niantic, saw PvP, got video footage, put together a really sweet article and YouTube video for IGN, and this is when everything started blowing people's minds. And Adam, I'm sure you've seen this video of the PvP in action. What is your hot take?
So, quick backstory. I am thinking of some app that I wanted to make, but I have no idea how to put it into motion, if you will. And the idea is pretty much like a battle system, and seeing this PvP is exactly how I would do it. I don't know. I feel like everything that they're showing is exactly what I wanted to make happen, where you put a barrier up and then it prevents the attack. This is such a cool way of creating a new battle system for Pokemon.
So what they did was they're bending the way that the battle system works right now for gyms and raids in a way that gives it a fresh take for PvP. So what's going to happen is it's still going to be a fucking tap fest. You're still going to be furiously tapping at the screen to do your fast attacks and ultimately charge up your charge moves. And now in Andrew Goldfarb's coverage, we actually saw that you can now pay candy and Stardust to buy a 3rd move slot, a 2nd charge move for your Pokemon, which you could ultimately TM and change and keep even for the gym and raid meta, which is fantastic because we've always talked about 4 moves. Now we're going to have 3, so I'll take it. There's a whole little charge up section where when you're tapping the phone, tapping the screen to do your attack in PvP, the camera kind of swings around, looks at your Pokemon, and you tap your Pokemon really fast, almost like a little mini game to charge this 2nd charge move. And it's like a little mini game within a game.
That's cool.
Yeah, it reminds me of something from Mario Party.
Absolutely. It looks really cool. And then you charge it up and boom, it unleashes a nice cool animation. And definitely the animations look really cool. And just like you mentioned, there's 2 barriers that you can use over the course of the battle between your 3 Pokemon. So you have a shield. There's no dodging. So there's no tap and swipe. It's just tap. So to give that defensive ability, you have this barrier that you can use 2 times in your battle among your 3 Pokemon.
So is it literally whoever can tap faster?
Well, sort of, because I think, and this is what's going to make the Great and Ultra
It's going to be
Leagues
hilarious
fun.
looking. This is going to be hilarious.
Oh, dude, in person? Hell yeah. It's going to be Melissa, we got to, you know what, real quick, side note. Melissa and I were driving through Freehold the other day, right? And we're like, yo, Cresselia right here, let's stop. There's a couple people there, and I'm like, fuck, there's only a few of them, but they're tapping their phones. I'm like, fuck, we missed it. I go, you know what? There's not a lot. Maybe they'll not do it, and they'll have to redo it. So sure as shit, it turns out that they couldn't beat it. There was only 4 of them. So we joined, and we were talking to the lady outside the car. She's standing outside the car. I've never seen someone tap a phone more
so
furiously.
hard.
I thought she was going to smash the screen.
I mean, her
It was
fingernails
so
are like.
good. I was fucking cracking up. Yo, and then remember her son called in the middle of the raid?
Yeah, and
then
she denied
she's
it.
like, decline.
But the worst was she was wearing like a puffy jacket, so the sound of the rubbing of her jacket, in addition to in addition to the tapping, it was just brutal.
But anyway, yeah, we got the Cresselia. But yeah, doing like actually seeing battles, like let's say there's 6 people and all 6 are doing battles at the same time. Like when you're doing a raid, you're just, tap, 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 tap. There's low intensity. But I could really see battling someone face to face and just like really fucking smashing your phone. Like
how many people are gonna drop
so
their phone from like trying to smash it so fast?
No, you gotta have a pop socket or one of those like key rings in the back. You have to.
I gotta get one of those.
You need a tether. So good. In Andrew Goldfarb's coverage, little Easter eggs, and he even calls it out in the video. He says they were playing on like a beta version of the PvP. It was like a build of the game, unreleased build.
Yeah, and he was battling with Smeargle.
Yo, 4 unreleased Pokemon were shown in the video. Regigigas, Smeargle, Heatran, and Garchomp were shown in PvP being used, and Regigigas looked freaking fantastic.
Give me Smeargle.
And Smeargle holds his tail like the paintbrush, and he was whacking the person with it, whoosh, whoosh, like with the paintbrush tip of the tail. It was like so cool. He even says, he's like, hey, this is, a beta, so I was able to play with Pokemon that are, unreleased and still still being worked on. It was really cool to see, because you're seeing the game, you're seeing it live, you're seeing it being played, but it's an unreleased thing, and it was really cool seeing new content like that. It was just very, very cool. And one of the other things that I really enjoy about this is the art style of how it lays the Pokemon out on the battlefield. It's not like a raid where it's just completely symmetrical and you're staring at your raid boss and it is what it is. Like they really give you that nice 3/4 perspective, and it's very reminiscent of the main series. I think I like the way they lay it out, and you could see the other trainer on the other side of the battlefield, which I thought was really cool. That's going to play into the element of customizing your avatar to make you look badass, because now people are going to actually see you more so than just a static image, when you're, looking at your friend screen. The other thing about long distance battling, you can do this with Ultra and Best Friends. That sounds great, right? Like great long distance battles. That's exactly what we want. But is it really that great because it's limited to Ultra and Best Friends? Like that's like saying all the gamers in the world, the millions of people that are playing this, at any given time, you can only battle 200 of them because you can only have a friends list of 200. So it's like, I dig it. Hopefully they'll open it up in the future, but they really need to make this, like, I don't know what they're holding it back for. Is it a limitation of the system, of the network? I don't know. I think that they really got to open it up, but I'm fucking excited. I don't know about you guys.
I think I'm okay with no global battling for now. I'm sure they'll eventually open it up, but they probably don't want to crash the fucking system.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to imagine if everybody was battling everyone.
Like, just think about.
Then you need it for like the leagues. You know what I mean? You need it for the leagues if you want to compete. You have to be ultra friends with somebody.
Yeah.
So,
see, but there's not going to be any in-game ranking. There's no like persistent ranking system or anything like that. So it's going to be. I don't know. I mean, I can imagine that the amount of people this is going to bring back to the game. So people that have downloaded the game and put it away will come back to it for PvP. The amount of new people that are going to try. And I'm sure there's going to be another huge, big marketing push when it comes out. So you're going to have all the new gamers to begin with. So I hope the servers can hold up.
All right, guys, let's talk about December's Community Day.
Yeah.
Or should I say Community Day weekend?
I barely played.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken, you start off. Tell me, how was your experience?
Well, I was off on the Friday, and I thought I was going to be able to play. And I'm a very anal retentive guy, go figure, when I'm scheduling my days off and stuff. So I had my whole day stacked with shit, and then I put a little window in the afternoon that I was going to play, and I was like, I'll take my son out. I was like, I'll, get him dinner, and while we're out in Red Bank, I'll be able to restock, I'll be able to do my shit and be happy. When I got to Red Bank, everything was good, and about 15, 20 minutes in, my son starts yawning, starts rubbing his eyes, and he's like, hey, when are we going home? I'm like, I'm still in my first freaking lucky egg. I was like, damn, this ain't happening for me right now. So I got to play for about 40 minutes on the Friday and caught 2 shinies, a Beldum and a Pika, both on the Go Plus. And Saturday, the actual event day, I was working, of course. And Sunday, I don't even know what ended up happening, but the day just kind of slipped away, doing housework and all this other shit. Oh, we did the Christmas tree. So it was like, you got a family first it, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really get much gaming in, but I did get, I got 2 shinies out of actually 3 shinies. I got a Chikorita, which is bullshit. I got a shiny Pikachu and the shiny Beldum. So I got 3, it is what it is, but I still felt like it was fun, and I loved all the extra spawns throughout the weekend. It was awesome. I think that the formula is the secret sauce. I really like how they did it.
Well, Melissa, how was yours?
It was cockapoo. This
is when she was just starting to get sick.
I was kind of starting to not feel good, and I just really wasn't. I was busy on Friday, and then, they've been doing construction on my house too all week, so the freaking backyard was jacked up, and I didn't want to go anywhere.
Our backyard is wrecked.
but I didn't catch really any shinies at all.
All right, so I'll tell you about mine. I worked all day Friday. I worked all day Saturday. So basically my Go Plus was the MVP. And then Sunday, I was actually able to get the day off. I basically played from 2:30ish all the way to 8ish, 9. Yeah, it was crazy because it's I had my whole family with me. I met my brother, sister-in-law, and their son, and they all got in my car, and we just drove around and did the rounds, and then they all had to go. I dropped them off, and then my mom texted me. She's like, "Oh, you're still out? Come pick me up." So then I went out with my mom.
That's so cool though. That's awesome.
No, it was really nice because I got to spend time with my family, and we all played Pokemon, and it was fantastic.
That's a multiple.
And they're like,
win
"When are we gonna do this again?"
Yeah, hell yeah, that's so cool.
It was just a lot of fun. I got a lot of time in, but I wasn't catching as many shinies as I thought I would. I mean, I got 11 overall through the whole weekend.
That's sick,
awesome.
though. That's still awesome.
Which is better than your 3, but
you think about...
You gained so many real-life experience points.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you know what? They say community day, right? And Adam, I mean, you played for I'd say at least 3 hours, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you paid for at least 3 hours. You had way more opportunity to catch shinies because there technically were more shinies available. But you really didn't think about how many shinies we catch during the 3-hour period of a normal community day versus how many you caught over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the rate wasn't there.
So what Sylph Road, they put their scientists together, and it was during the weekend, it was between a 1 in 80 and 1 in 90 chance of catching a shiny. So the rates were definitely increased 5 times as, more than what you would normally get with your standard shiny rate. But during the 3-hour window, the actual community day window, they brought it down to normal, 1 in 24, 1 in 25. So you still had a 1 in 90 chance over the weekend, but when you're checking so many Pokemon, you could get, if you're not in the right spirit, you could get very discouraged because you're just checking after checking. You're I'm never going to catch a freaking shiny, and just kind of, throw your arms up in the air. But I love
That's kind of how I was feeling.
But you caught 11, damn it.
Well, I know. And what's the weirdest thing about the whole weekend is that I totally forgot that, because I just assumed the catch rates were the same for the entire time. So I acted like that 3-hour window was nothing.
Was no different.
Is literally, yeah. So it's just my Go Plus was on, and I remember, I think I went on break around 4:15, and I remember catching 3 shinies relatively close together.
This seems weird.
Yeah, and I'm okay, so nothing's wrong.
I'm telling you, man, you got to follow the European and Asian players because they get their community day before us, so you can start picking up on all the trends.
Well, I know, but I was working. It was busy. Okay, it was Black Friday weekend. What do you expect?
It's a commitment to being the very best. Damn it!
I can't be the best when I gotta work. Ugh, it's the worst.
But I really like the format. I mean, did you enjoy the fact that it was spread over the weekend? I thought that was awesome. I'll take the 1 in
Yes.
90 all freaking day over a whole weekend rather than the 1 in 24 for 3 hours. Like that, it was a game changer. You could, if I'm home and it's at midnight and I could walk the dog and still have the benefit of all the extra spawns, and seeing all the starters was so cool. I caught so many Dratini, so many Larvitar. I was able to replenish my candy so much. It was awesome.
Yeah, see, I evolved a whole bunch of them that I forgot to evolve during Community Day last time.
Yeah, there you go. You could get those moves.
I am down to like 200 Tyranitar candy, and I'm like, I can't spend anything because I don't know what's going to be needed.
With December now, we have new field research, we have new raid bosses, and there's a couple that I just want to run through really quick. A lot of them have stayed the same. Catch a dragon Pokemon, get a dragon Pokemon, that kind of stuff. Like those, some of the standards are still there, but there is a few notables here. So this is what I want to talk about. Spin to number 6 is now available. So that one is make a great curveball. So that's a real easy one. So if you see make a great curveball, that's spin to 6. Transfer 10 Pokemon is Mischievous, which can now be shiny. So you can get a nice vomit green Mischievous for that ass because it's shiny now. So you can get that. Whenever Pokemon evolve and they have a shiny, it makes it a little bit more exciting because then you're like, shit, now I need 2. Or, if it's like a Bulbasaur or something, you're like, you want to get that 3. So I like when Pokemon that are shiny can evolve. Yeah, transfer 10 Pokemon, that's easy peasy. That's everyone could do that, no problem. And there is plenty of shiny opportunities scattered kind of across the entire gamut of the research right now. So check out Go Ranger, and we'll touch base with that later. But check out Go Ranger for the full list of all the potential shinies. And then the raid bosses rotated as well. Adam, you want to run through some of these? Tier 1 is still freaking great.
Tier 1, we have Shuppet, which can be shiny. Duskull, which can be shiny. Snowrunt, which can be shiny. Shinx, which can be shiny. Drifloon, which can be shiny. And Weasel, which can't be shiny.
But still, that's the one I want the most right now because I do not have a Floatzel yet. So I'm still missing that hole in the decks. And I rarely
I'm
see
right
them.
there with you. But I'd rather have a shiny Shinx. Shiny Shinx.
I'd rather have shiny freaking anything. I did a Snowrunt the other day. That's a cool shiny.
Yeah, recently I've done a Snowrunt, a Duskull, and a Drifloon. And a Shinx, actually.
I like that tier
shiny.
1 is like this. It makes raids very accessible. I think that they do a good job with that.
Yeah, even the tier 2. Tier 2 we have Mischievous, whatever. But can that one be shiny from raids
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got that shiny, we've got Sableye shiny, we've got Mawile shiny, and then we have Sneasel.
But again, Sneasel, you're going to want a chance at getting a good IV Sneasel because you want that Weavile. Weavile's a fantastic counter for Cresselia.
And then on tier 3 we have a Alolan Raichu, which can be shiny, a Pinsir, which can be shiny, a Machamp, Gengar, Scyther, and Sharpedo.
I really wish they make Gengar shiny in raids. Because I wasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I couldn't go for the shiny Gengar during the shiny Gengar day, so I'm bummed. I wish they made that shiny, and maybe it'll come through at some point. And what about tier 4?
We have Marowak, Alolan form, and that can be shiny. And then Absol, which can be shiny as well. And then Houndoom and Tyranitar, which Tyranitar is always a staple.
Yeah, we got to get you that Marowak. Oh, and just a little pro tip here. If you are still working on your Meltan quest and you have the Catch a Cubone, and now that the Kanto spawns have gone away from the Let's Go event, Cubones are a little sparse. Alolan Marowak, when you catch that, it will count as your Cubone. So
listen, I did one with 2 other people, and I could not rally up anybody to get to the raid after a parade, and people were in the chat being like, "Oh, we're at the parade," and I'm like, "Guys, there's a Marowak that hatches immediately after. Just walk over to it."
You couldn't beat it with 3 people?
No, so whoever the other people were, it must have been like that person, like their baby account or something.
Blissies, they used Blissies.
Yeah, it was awful. There was like Pidgeot. I was like, "What are you doing right now?"
Hey,
I was so disappointed, Ken. I was like, "Oh man, I've got this," and I'm using all the strong counters: Kyogre, Gyarados, my 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew what I was doing, and here we are. We're literally like seconds away from taking it out, and then nothing.
Wow,
we lost.
That sucks.
And then he keeps going back. That same person keeps going back in, but it's just that one account now. And I'm like, "Where's the other one?"
Oh my God.
Because, like, I powered some Pokemon up real quick, and then I jumped back in, and I'm like, we had 3. Where did the third person go?
Melissa and I actually did a couple Cresselia this week. There was we hit a double at the gyms, the 2 gyms, the side-by-side gyms next to our house. We show up to those raids, and, within 10 minutes, we both had 2 catches. It was awesome. Yeah. Because we just knocked them out back to back.
I still don't have one.
Oh, and Melissa and I also did last week's Deoxys. There's actually a Deoxys wave going on right now, today, the 6th and 7th. So by the time you hear this we're talking about last Deoxys wave. Melissa and I went out and we both caught it. Mine was Doodoo, and Melissa's was the fucking the troll
Almost
Pokemon.
Perfect.
Almost perfect. 14, 14, 14.
Wow.
I'll take it though.
Hell yeah, that's freaking awesome. Spaghetti arms. Give me that shit.
Him.
Weird.
Yeah, I just got an EX raid, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And actually, my whole family got an EX raid because we all did the same raids together.
That's so cool.
Nice.
See, look, dig into that a little bit. You see how it works where you get the people out on a community day, you get them coming back to the game, and they're going to be coming back in a community setting like, man, freaking Niantic, they're brilliant. Tottori Prefecture Event going on right now through the 19th.
Sand dunes.
Yep, this is a sand dune event. This is like a protected area in Japan. You cannot play Pokemon Go in some of the areas of the sand dunes because that's how protected the lands are. They're very, very highly regarded and very pure. So a lot of it has not been touched by people, and they keep it that way. It's a really nice area. And Sandshrew has actually, by Japan, been dubbed the ambassador of this region. So it's a big deal. And you can get a shiny Sandshrew, and a lowland Sandshrew is going to be available in the wild for the first time at this event too. So I'm assuming that shiny Sandshrew will be available everywhere, just like we've seen when other shinies have come out during these international events.
Pinsir.
Yep, exactly. Like the Pinsir event. It's green. Fucking dude, Pokemon Company, man, that they need to I wish they would have laid off the green shinies. There's so many freaking green shinies. What it should have been purple or something. That would have been so cool. Damn it, Niantic.
Give us another color, damn it.
It's all Niantic.
Well, to see they knew they went wrong, so they're like, here's this white one from the Alolan region.
I don't know. It looks like a freaking igloo. Dumb.
Yes. It looks exactly like an igloo.
That's the point. All right, and I do want to talk about this Find Your Way initiative that Niantic has partnered with the National Park Society. This is called Rivers and Trails 50th Anniversary. And get this is a really cool way that you can interact with Niantic. So, I'm reading directly from their blog post. It says, in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the National Trails and National Wild and Scenic Rivers Systems, Niantic and the National Park Foundation are running a special campaign about exploring as many rivers and trails as possible. We're going to try and collectively visit thousands of trails across the U.S. and more than 12,000 miles of rivers protected by the Wild and Scenic River System, and we need your help. Again, encouraging exploration, encouraging connection with nature. Love it. All positive stuff. This is where it gets really cool, though. It says, send Niantic a postcard of your adventures. Tell us what you did. You can send the letters and postcards to a P.O. box. I'll post it in the description. Then it says, or publish an Instagram post. Use the hashtag Explore with Niantic and hashtag Find Your Way. Tag Niantic Labs in it. It'll count just like as if you sent them a postcard for the purpose of this promotion. And for every postcard, digital or physical, that they receive, Niantic is going to donate $5 to the National Park Foundation. So if just our user base alone, just our listeners, were to all put an Instagram post together and put it out there, Niantic would end up donating thousands of dollars to the National Park Foundation. So I would really recommend and I would really encourage everyone to get involved. Why not? It's all for a good cause. Now, to sweeten the deal, listen to this. I'm all about this. Players who send a postcard, digital or physical, will receive a postcard and special merit patch in return from Niantic. For every postcard received,
oh man, we got to do this.
I know. So, it's fucking cold as shit, but I'm going to try to get out there at some point this weekend, see if my son will want to go out and explore a little bit, and I'll take some pictures and put a nice post up, and I'm definitely going to do this, but I will definitely, for sure, follow up with this, and when I get my special merit patch, I'll post it on the Instagrams as well.
Do we take AR pictures too? Does that count?
Hell yeah, why not? And what I like about this is, again, this isn't a Pokemon Go thing. This is a Niantic thing, so they're encouraging
but how are they going to validate that you're actually in a national park and you're not in your backyard?
You don't have to be. You don't have to be in a national park. They just want to get you outside exploring. So it's just saying tag the location that you visited. So, I mean, I guess you'd need some kind of, geo marker to tag where you are. I mean, but yeah. I guess you could tag the parking lot, by your house or something. But I just think it's a cool initiative. Get involved. Get out there. It's fucking cold. Bundle up. Winter mode.
Freaking cold. Damn it. I hate it.
I was telling Melissa, they make like, there's this electric heated jacket that is rechargeable. I was like, I got to get you this jacket. And then there's a blanket that USB blanket you plug in like for your car.
Oh my God. You know what I just pictured in my head? Like, in Star Wars when Luke cuts open that.
The tauntaun?
Yeah. And uses its skin. And like, I need a Snorlax skin to just wrap around my body.
It's kind of gross. Slice it up.
Or Snorlax.
And put me inside of it. And then I can go out Pokemon hunting.
Reminds me of Freddy Got Fingered when Tom Green is wearing the deer. He's like flopping around on the road.
Ew.
So fucking gross. Oh, I digress. All right, bunch of miscellaneous news here I want to cover before we get into our little Great League discussion here, building a little party out. The Sinnoh Stone is no longer guaranteed as a research breakthrough reward. This kind of bummed a lot of people out, including myself. We've learned that through PvP, that will be a way to earn a Sinnoh Stone. So you can still get it from your 7-day research breakthrough, but it's not guaranteed, but you will be able to get it from PvP. Misty and Brock avatar clothing items are now available in the store. This is through, this is their Pokemon Let's Go outfits, so it's a little bit different from what you might be used to in the anime if you haven't played Let's Go.
I don't like their outfits.
Shocking. We've been waiting for the winter event to happen. We saw that little bit of line of code in the last APK teardown. So I know Adam is doing 25 days of Delibird on social media. Everyone check that out. I'll link to that in the description too.
Delibird.
He's got so much Delibird shit that he's doing 25 Delibird posts through the holiday. It's so great. Adam, it's just a matter of time. I'm telling you. You're gonna have. I actually was looking.
Listen, I know so I haven't bought max box space because I plan on buying all my space just to hold all the Delibirds.
It's so funny.
Like I'm at 1650 right now. I'm gonna fill up and not go through anything. Yeah.
I hit 2,000 of 2,000 Pokemon the other day.
Oh my God, Ken.
I transferred 516 Pokemon in one shot. It was the biggest transfer I ever did. It was awesome.
That's out of control.
Like when you get all the candy noises at one time, you think your speaker is going to explode. I love that shit. It's like, bounce! Gives you all the candy. It's so good. There's a December box sale. It fucking sucks. I'm not even going to talk about it because it's shit. They fucking put pineapple berries in the Ultra box. Are you kidding me?
That's cool, bro. They're cool.
Bro, 6
they
berries.
They were like, ha
really?
ha ha. Screw you.
The discount levels are not as high as they usually are. The count of incubators is not as high as it usually is. Hard pass on these boxes. I'm waiting for the holiday event.
Pineapple berries, but they only give you 6.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? What are you gonna do with that? That's not even like enough to max out one Pokemon.
Why
in the gym.
even bother?
Doo-doo. Stupid.
It should be 6 silver pineapple.
Silver pineapple would make a little bit more sense. I agree, even though those are fucking useless too. Trowels did dig up some more Gen 4 models. I think this actually was this morning. Tangrowth, Bonsly, Yanmega, and Krogunk models, regular and shiny, have been found in the traffic. It's always a good thing when new Pokemon show up. And then finally, let's check in with Go Ranger Matt.
What's up, everybody? It is Go Ranger Matt, and this is the Go Ranger Check-In.
All right, the things you're going to want to look out for, again, the Transfer 10 Pokemon to get your shot of the shiny Mischievous and make a great curveball throw. Those are the 2 research rewards. There's going to be a nest migration next Tuesday, December 11th. Make sure you're reporting that to the Sylph Road Nest Atlas. Cresselia, got about 12 days left from the time of this recording to get yourself one of those. Make sure you don't miss out. And still have the entire month of December to get your a la carte, pick your poison, random, either the 3, any of the 3 birds, which could be shiny, or the 3 beasts. So that's your December research breakthrough. Actually, yeah, we didn't even mention that at the top of the show.
Yeah, I accepted mine on December 1st, thinking I was hot shite, and I was like, I can't wait. As long as I don't get Suicune, I'll be good. And I opened it up like a noob, and
it was.
Guess which Pokemon I got. Guess which legendary I got.
It
was a ghost type.
Not so legendary.
It was a ghost type, and it was a bug type.
See, now, if you had checked Go Ranger and you had your time zone set, that wouldn't have been a problem.
Listen, not all of us can be as cool as everybody else.
That's
you know,
it.
That's all I'm saying.
That's it. You got to be the very best.
I got a Shedinja. I had what is that? Number 5?
Yeah,
I got 5 Shedinjas. I mean, I got a lucky one, but still.
Oh, and in PvP,
nice.
you can't use Ditto and you can't use Shedinja in PvP.
I know. What a waste. That was like what I was going to use. I was going to be like, look at me, 10 HP.
Yeah, well, I wish they could let you use Ditto. I thought that would be cool. I get Shedinja just because it's useless, but.
Yeah, but they could have given you like 4 shields for your Shedinja. You're going to need all 4 at the start of the game.
Can you use Mew and Celebi in the PvP?
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Hold on, are you making fun of the way I say Shedinja?
That you say it different every time. It's my favorite part.
It's a ninja. It's a shade.
Shed ninja.
Shedinja.
I just call it useless husk of a Pokemon.
Ninjask.
All right, let's wrap the show up by talking about the Great League. This is probably going to be one of the cooler of the 3 leagues. This is going to be most competitive, I think. It's going to require the most strategy. I think what you're going to really see as the most important component to building a proper battle party. Oh, wait, a fucking battle party. Let's do our jingle. You ready, guys?
All right.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Battle party.
Battle party. He didn't even do it. He didn't even do it.
What the fuck?
Asshole.
I'm awful.
You only did 1.
I'll double it up in editing in post. Anyway, the Great League 1500 CP. What's gonna be most important here is type coverage, and I think that's what's gonna be the cool part about having the second charge move. As long as they let you TM into a larger pool of moves, I think that's going to be a necessity because you have Pokemon with diverse movesets like Deoxys or Mewtwo, where you can get an ice move or an electric move or a psychic move, but Pokemon that only have a 3 charge move pool, and a lot of times 2 of the 3 types in that pool are the same, you're not going to be able to really extend the diversity that much, and you're not going to have like a lot of coverage. Whereas if you were playing Let's Go and you had any TM, you could train any Pokemon with that move. What's really going to be important is taking that third move and giving your Pokemon coverage over whatever it's weak to. So extending that, your own ability to be super effective against whatever your opposite type is or whatever your weakness type is. I think that's really going to separate the core trainers from the casual trainers, because the people that know their type chart inside and out are going to have a significant advantage when it comes down to building out these third moves. Oh, and the third moves are going to cost Candy and Stardust, and we don't know what that cost is going to be yet either. So that's a whole nother argument.
What if it's something crazy?
Like they can't. Obscene. They can't. Maybe with Candy. I don't know.
Why not? Because they're going to be like, all you guys that just dumped all your Stardust into all these Pokemon this whole time, they're like, yeah, no. Now you need that.
I know,
Stardust.
that's the game.
Yeah, someone told me it would be significant.
Yeah, I'm thinking, why would they be doing all these Stardust events if they weren't boosting you to
It would be significant.
It will be significant.
And then he killed the dog.
I'm glad you got the reference.
Kung Pao jokes. All right, anyway, so I put together a little 1500 and under CP battle party here, and this is probably not the best example of having diversity, because some of these Pokemon could be used in a raid party, but I just went off of sorting my Pokemon by CP, scrolling down till I hit the 1500 mark, and pretty much looking for my top 3 relevant Pokemon that could have a good application in PvP. This is what I came up with. My 98% Raikou, which I've never powered up, so this is my level 15, 1476 CP, perfect for Great League. I have a 93% Machamp, never powered up, 1471 CP. And from one of the eggs during the international event, a 96% Kangaskhan. I would never use Kangaskhan in any other format, so there is some benefit in diversity here. But Raikou, Machamp, Kangaskhan, Motley Crue, never really think to bring them, but with the proper TMing, I could get some significant coverage of types just out of these 3 Pokemon. So pretty cool. Adam, what about you? What are you bringing?
All right, I did the same. I scrolled down to my 1500s. The only 1500 I have is a Zapdos, so I will be taking that. I'll be taking my 1495 Lapras, the attack stat being the best, and then I'm thinking Breloom to get that fighting. Those fighting moves, even though it's
and Breloom got that really big lift from the CP rebalance. So I mean, that's it's going to be in a good position with hit points, but much better position than it was before. To have a little bit more TDO. And Terry Wolf actually brought up on Discord too. Maybe even on Twitter, he was talking about the relevance of TDO and how that's going to affect the meta more so than the raid meta. Now, I definitely want to dig into this, Terry. I just don't think we have enough data yet of understanding how this is going to work with the third charge move of how TDO is then going to be calculated, because all we can calculate right now, like if you were to go to I think it's Game Press that has a really fantastic CP calculator, but it's not set up yet for understanding how PvP is going to work with that third move. Once we understand that and we can put that into some kind of calculator to get a TDO output for, and they're 4-minute timers. That's another thing we learned. 4-minute timer on PvP battles. You don't see the timer until there's 20 seconds left. So that you don't even know how long you have. Yeah, cool. I really like that. But once this kind of starts, this data comes in with how this is going to work, monitoring TDO is going to be freaking paramount to building a hyper competitive team. And I definitely want to start covering that a lot further. Terry, we'll definitely touch base, on that when we have more data. Adam, I think that the fact that you have a Zapdos, you're saying, right?
Yes.
So the fact that you could still sneak in, I did the same thing with Raikou. You could sneak legendaries into the Great League. It's. I think that alone it makes it exciting.
Yeah, I have a Zapdos and a Moltres.
But the counter is if somebody during Community Day
and a Raikou
powered up didn't power up, but just like kind of quickly evolved one of their Lavatars into a lower level Tyranitar, and had that Smackdown Stone Edge, like that's your
under
weakness.
1500 CP Tyranitar, hell yeah! Like if you had like a 10 CP Larvitar, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean I have a 1161 Tyranitar right now with Smackdown Stone Edge, so powered that up a few times and Shazam.
Yeah,
counter that bird.
So, Melissa, what would you bring? You going to bring legendaries or?
No, I'd probably bring shit that you would normally never be able to bring.
Yeah,
so
that's the cool
maybe
part.
like Sudowoodo.
Yes.
Or like I have a good Steelix, like Aerodactyl. Like maybe he'll have some relevance.
That's what I'm saying. Like we would never have an opportunity to use those Pokemon. So yes, exactly. That's very cool. That's very cool. I can't wait to dig into
like
this.
That's Clefable. I'd like to use Clefable.
Whoa. That's against the rules that you bring in 4 Pokemon now.
Oh my God, I'll do whatever to watch.
We need a referee. Time out.
And I have another question.
What?
Like, so say you have a Pokemon that at its base without powering it up is, around 1500. Then you have the same exact Pokemon, same exact moveset, but you had to power it up to get to 1500. How are those two Pokemon comparable?
Well, it depends, because let's say you have a Pokemon that you natively catch in the wild, right? And it's 1500 CP and it's a level 20 Pokemon, right? And based on its stats at level 20, it's 1500 CP. Now, you could find a higher stat version of that same Pokemon that would hit 1500 CP at, say, level 13. So that's when you're going to start to see the diversity of Pokemon, where it's not going to be necessarily an even playing field, because you got to look beyond CP. Because you could have a 1500 CP Tyranitar, I could have a 1500 CP Tyranitar. They could be completely different levels and completely different moves. So that's where you're going to see this conflict, and that,
I think there's going to be a lot of complaining.
Well, of course.
There's going to be a lot of whining and complaining in the future.
Well, it wouldn't be Pokemon Go.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, and then like the whole meta will develop, and you have to think like, man, do I want my Tyranitar to know Stone Edge and Flamethrower, or Stone Edge and Crunch? You know what I mean? It's
what about like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan? Like those guys, you never even get to use those, and they're like.
Well, think of even like Charizard, like you never, or even
exactly.
fucking Raichu, like Pikachu, even like you just don't use them.
Oh man, make a Pikachu league.
Yeah, Pikachu.
Where it's only Pikachu.
Yeah,
you're like, well, this one knows Surf.
Metapod all the way.
This one knows Present.
Just a shiny league.
Exactly, shiny party. That'd be awesome. I do want to touch on a tweet that we did receive from Andrew Taylor, Zebo120 on Twitter. Asks, do you guys think they did a smart move with how they're doing PvP battles, or should they have gone a more traditional route and done turn-based combat? Now, I'm split here because I understand that they would want this game to remain fast-paced and quick and in and out. And to do that, you kind of need that fervor of tap, 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 and all that. Would I have liked to seen turn-based? Yeah, I definitely would have, but I might just be saying that because I'm attached to the traditional games.
You can get turn-based play from the DS, and I think that having the tap 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 for this kind of application is perfect. I think it's just easier.
Right?
I think it's easier, especially for people who never really played Pokemon outside of Pokemon Go, to make that transition into the PvP as opposed to having to learn a new way to battle, even though it's not very hard to take your turn.
Yeah, but turn-based games, you don't get that in casual gaming. So it's like that's a foreign thing to a lot of people.
Yeah, you got to remember they're bringing two completely separate worlds together, and like that's what they did with Let's Go, and Let's Go was so well received. That's why it's, you know, Pokemon are walking around. You throw the controller to catch the Pokemon because they're incorporating something you already know with something a little bit different. And I think that's what they're doing in the other direction. So now they're taking people that like the turn-based thing, the battling and all that, giving us that now, and then it's a totally different. It's not totally different, but it's, you know, we're utilizing the raid techniques, the gym battling, and it's a little different.
It's just different enough. It's just different enough. Yeah, I agree, and I think that when I first saw it, I was like, it's still the same shit. But now the more I look at it, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be perfect, because doing this in person is going to be exciting. Like, this is going to be fun. Even just, you know, sitting in the same room, you know, battling someone, it's just going to be fun. Like, I think it's just, I'm psyched. It's a whole new thing. They said definitely by the end of the month. It could come out any day now. I don't know.
Just the fact that you could battle with your friends on the phone and not have to be in their presence, I think is
like I can text Melissa and be like, get your Snorlax ready. I'm going to take you down.
Exactly, I'm coming for you.
And then you're going to be like, oh, you want some? I'll be like, I got my Breloom with fighting moves. I got my Poliwrath with fighting moves.
I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm dropping Stardust right now, son. Dropping Stardust.
No. So.
No,
we're doing the Great League.
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it's just going to create this whole new meta and a whole new way to play, and the single player thing with being able to battle the team leaders. Like, I love it. I'm so fucking gassed up.
Yeah, and definitely get into our Discord. So once we start like having competitions there, you guys are involved. We definitely want to be better friends with you.
Yeah, Terry Wolf posted in these like, we need a channel to start, you know, having battles and calling each other out. We'll post the screen recordings. I was like, yo, beep boop bop boop, bam, built the channel. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
And it's,
I know, Terry's like, oh, I can't wait to beat Adam with all his Delibirds. And little does he know that I'm going to bring the one that he traded me. And I named it Terry Wolf.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Terry Wolf, you're beating up on your own Delibird. Come on. I'm just taking care of it for you.
I really want to thank everyone that listens to the whole show. We were ranting like shit today, so that's a lot of fun. And Melissa's feeling like shit. I feel like shit too. Now that I'm talking, I'm like, oh man, I got caca in my lungs.
I'm tired now.
But thank you guys so much. We'll be back. We're going to be recording in just a couple days this Sunday. Hopefully by then PvP will be live and we'll have some time behind the wheel. But if not, we'll continue the speculation train hard as hell because it's fun as shit. Other than that, please leave us a review in iTunes. We greatly appreciate it. Email us, info@luredup.com. Check out luredup.com for everything that we're doing. Check out our Patreon. And that's all, folks.
Yeah. Thanks, friends.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Well, catch 'em.
Aw.